Hi, welcome back to Steak. You're with Dawn Williams. Let's cook it up. Okay, where were we, Ant?
Yeah, I like that. Let's cook it up. Cook it up! Anyway.
We were in Moon.
So, let's just stay here for the time being. Stay on the study. Let's just stay on the study. So let's just go over what we've learned about Leviticus 23. So Leviticus 23. So let's go to Pesach. So scroll up to Passover, please. Let's just recap.
Got it?
Yep. So verse 4 of Leviticus 23, the Passover and the festival of unleavened bread. So these are the Lord's appointed festivals, the sacred assemblies. You are to proclaim at their appointed times. The Lord's Passover begins at twilight on the 14th day of the first month. Twilight on the 14th day of the first month. Okay. So now, go back to the study, please. Okay. So, Pesach/Passover. Nisan 14, the 14th day of the first month. Maybe I should rewire that to 14th day of Nisan. And I should really put twilight here because that's the order of alignment. I think it's spelled wrong. Yes, it is. Twilight on the 14th day of the first month, which is Nisan. And then if you go back to Leviticus 23, please, Dawn. Then it says on the 15th day of that month, the Lord's festival of unleavened bread begins. So this festival of unleavened bread happens the very next day. So if you go back to the study, please. So unleavened bread. And then the full moon. Show them. So let's go back to the calendar, not the moon calendar, the other one. So we can show them. Okay, so go back to April. Scroll down. So we can see the 19th of April is the 14th day of Nisan. Nisan is the first month of the Hebrew calendar. So if we go to the moon calendar and have a look at what's happening there. I hate this one, eh?
It
takes ages. Okay. So if we scroll down to the 19th, Nisan 14, the beginning of Pesach, is marked by a full moon. Yep. So now that we know that it's marked by a full moon, Nisan 14, which corresponds to what Genesis 1 is talking about, the sun, the stars, and the moon, the sun, the moon, the stars, whichever way you want to slice it, especially the moon. The moon is what marks the Moedim, the appointed times of Yahuwah. And we'll confirm that yet again when we go back to Leviticus 23 and we go to Feast of Trumpets. Feast of Trumpets. The Lord said to Moses, the Lord said to follow Moshe, say to the Israelites, on the first day of the 7th month. Okay. So let's go to the calendar. And let's go and look at the first day of the 7th month.
Is that where you want to go?
I'm sure you can just click. Yep, September. Scroll down because it's there, Rosh Hashanah, because we're looking at the Feast of Trumpets, also known as Rosh Hashanah. So obviously we're looking for the Hebrew. And why are we looking for the Hebrew? Because Yeshua's people, the Jews, dealt in the Hebrew language. How do you know that? Because all of the Old Testament, the Torah and the Tanakh, is written in what? Hebrew. And then it was translated to English. Okay, so the first day of the first day of the 7th month is the first day of Tishri, which happens this year. On the 30th of April. Okay, now let's go to the moon calendar and see what's going on. So the 30th of September. Can you put your cursor over there, please? No, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? No, I'm trying to get you to put your cursor on the first day of Tishri.
Which is the 30th.
So if you quickly just, yeah, so the 30th, so just quickly correspond that back to the calendar, please. Just show people so they know we're not making up bullshit. So the 30th of September is the first day of Tishri, and it's marked by the first sliver of the full moon. So the Feast of Trumpets was when the Feast of Trumpets is marked by the first sliver of the new moon, and that's what they are waiting for at Matthew 24. So that's Rosh Hashanah. If you go to Matthew 24, we won't now because we're just showing people this. So Rosh Hashanah, Feast of Trumpets, happens on the first day of the 7th month, which is Tishrei. And it happens this year in how many days' time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days. So in 11 days, we'll see the first sliver of the first of the new moon. And that's when the secondary priests would blow their shofars. Shofar is the Māori name. Shofar is the Hebrew name for trumpet. And that's why it's called the Feast of Trumpets. And that's when it's heralded in the first sliver of the new moon. Why is this stuff important? Because all of these festivals are marked by either a new moon, a full moon, or a half moon. So, if you go back to the study, please. So these are all the clues. Okay, so next one is Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement. So this is when the priest used to go in. Yeah. So what are we looking for? The Lord said to Moses, the 10th day of this 7th month is the Day of Atonement. Hold a sacred assembly and deny yourselves and present a food offering to the Lord. Do not do any work on that day, because it is the Day of Atonement, when atonement is made for you before the Lord your God. Those who do not deny themselves on that day must be cut off from their people. I will destroy from among their people anyone who does any work on that day. So this is serious stuff. You shall do no work at all. This is to be a lasting ordinance for the generations to come wherever you live. So notice how it says this is to be a lasting ordinance, which again echoes Yeshua's words at Matthew 5:17. I did not come to abolish the law, because this is the law being given to him. been given to Moshe, as is referred to at Luke 24:27. It is a Sabbath day, or it is a day of Sabbath rest for you, and you must deny yourselves. From the evening of the 9th day of the month until the following evening, you are to observe your Sabbath. Okay. So all of these happen, they commence the evening before. Yeah, because it's telling you it commences actually on the 9th, the evening of the 9th day, and it goes through to the evening or the twilight or the sunset of the next day, which is the 10th day. So let's have a look at the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur.
So
No, go to the calendar. Yom Kippur. So if you scroll down, it's probably in October. So the 10th day of Tishrei. No, go up.
Yep.
Yeah, Yom Kippur. Okay, hold up. So Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement. And then what happens? So this happens on the 10th day of the 7th month. 10th day of the 7th month. So we're still in Tishrei. Still in Tishrei. And then what is it marked by? What moon? What's the moon doing? What's the date? Go back and look at the date, please.
sorry, so the 9th.
The 9th of October.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. You sure? October 2019. Go back to your October 2019, Yom Kippur. So the 9th. Interesting. That's real interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Go back again, please. Interesting. It'd be interesting to see what the moon is actually doing on that day, as opposed to what's being put here. Because if you go to previous years and have a look at it, it usually happens on the half moon. So if you pull up another one, tab,
Yep.
and then pull up your moon calendar.
Yep.
Or just type in a whole another one. Just do a search for another calendar, because that one's difficult to deal with.
So
type in the search for another calendar. Because that one's real difficult to deal with.
Yep.
And not only that, because you really want to get the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. Because The ruach is telling me that something's wrong there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So click on another one.
So you.
Just click on any one until we find it. So what's there? So the 6th of October is the half moon.
So
find another one. Oh, okay. Moon phases. Okay. Yeah, that's good because now you're extrapolating information. This is good. What about the moon phase calendar? Yeah. Scroll down. Okay.
Oh, here we go. So the date.
The 9th of October. Yeah, so if you scroll up.
Yeah.
So the 6th of October is the half moon.
Right.
And that's usually when Yom Kippur happens, on a half moon.
Right.
So go to that new tab in between. Go to that new tab in between. Yeah. So type in another search and look at another calendar. Just press enter. Okay, look at another one altogether.
So,
nah, because that's Sunshine Coast.
Moon
Just
giant.
look. Isn't that the one that we already have? Have a look at the one that we already have, please.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm teaching you to look for gold now. I'm teaching you to use your lit cerebral skills.
Time and date.
Just any one of those, I guess.
They're the same.
Just
They're
okay.
the same website. Yeah.
Okay, then go for another one. What have you got? Yeah.
Moon giant space.
Space.com. Yeah, have a look at it.
Yeah,
Now we really need one that's showing the everyday. So let's find one. So go back
to the search.
Yeah, to the results. So then you can
Calendar.
go through. Yeah, have a look.
So
so the first quarter
and
then the third quarter.
So it says
October the 6th.
6th and October the 14th.
That's a full moon is October the 14th. Okay. So let's go back to the giant moon. Yeah. Yeah, this one. So the 9th, that's the 9th day. So Yom Kippur usually happens around the half moon. Usually, and yeah, I guess you can say that still happens around the half moon. But that's not showing a half moon there, and so that's where I'm having my reservations. Whether Yom Kippur is actually on the 9th or the 6th, just because of all the previous study I've done. So they may have changed it for some reason, because if you look at Pesach alone, Pesach's on a full moon. And then if you look at Rosh Hashanah, it's the first sliver of the new moon. And from all the years I've been studying these things, Yom Kippur always has fallen on the half moon or the first quarter. People will go, hey, but it's a half moon. How can it be the first quarter? Because the new moon The new moon is the whole quarter. The half moon is the first quarter. The full moon is the first 3 quarters, and then the next half moon is the no sorry. So the first half moon is the first quarter. The full moon is the second quarter. The next half moon is the third quarter, and then the next new moon is the full quarter. The full 3 quarters, sorry. So that's how it works. But yeah, so I'm having reservations whether Yom Kippur is actually on the 9th. For me, it's the from twilight on the 5th to twilight on the 6th. That's to me. If we go back to the calendar, scroll up, please. Yeah, go to the calendar, the actual icon. Let's have a look at October 2019. 2018, sorry. My bad. I need to smack myself in the head. Okay. So it's on the 10th day of Tishri. So scroll up. So it's actually happening in September. Yeah, so it's on the 19th of September 2018. So let's have a look at the last one. Have a look at the last one. No, the last moon calendar.
There.
No, the last moon calendar. You've got 4 up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want that one? This one?
Yeah, so change it to September 2019. Or 2018, yeah. Good. Now scroll down. So, no, go back to the half. Go back to the half. No, go up. Go up. So have a look at so you've got the full moon, and you've got the 3rd quarter, the new moon, the 1st quarter. So have a look. So the date that we're looking for is, if you go back to your calendar, First day. So the 19th. So go back to that moon calendar, please. Yeah, so it'll be the 22nd of September. So go back to the calendar. Yeah. So Yom Kippur happens, it seems to be 3 days within the half moon. So it's happening around the half moon. Previous studies I've done, it's happened on the half moon. So if we go then to 2017, it's just because what I'm trying to do is build the track record. Okay. So Tishrei, look at the 10th of Tishrei.
It's 30th.
So it's the 30th of September.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now look at the moon calendar. Yeah. So change your date. Yeah. So realizing that on this day, at this time period, the Las Vegas shootings happened. What is the Las Vegas shootings? Human sacrifice or child sacrifice. People will go, how do you know that? Because the person who knows all about the stuff and who's either a slave to the elite, the Nephilim, the modern day Nephilim, Raphaim, and Gibborim kings. They're slaves. It's their slaves that are carrying this work out. So scroll up, Dawn, because we're looking at the actual.
But that's 2019, Ant.
Okay, so then why haven't you changed it yet?
It is. So that doesn't change. This changes down here at 2017. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what day is it? Let's go back to the calendar.
It's the 30th. The
30th
of September.
Okay, so go back to that moon calendar.
Yeah. And so it's the 28th. So the first quarter's on the 28th.
Yeah. So the first quarter is on the 28th of, was that September or October?
September.
Okay, so go back.
So September.
28th of September. Okay, yeah. So Yom Kippur happens around the time of a half moon.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm glad that we've established that. So for those of you who just heard me talk about the Las Vegas shootings, they happened around Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. What's happening there? I'm glad that we brought that up. So what we'll do is we'll go and look at, is it Leviticus 29? It might be. No. 26. No. So what we're looking for here is what's actually going on.
Well, if I just go into Bible Gateway and then Leviticus 29.
Yeah. Just go to 26. Just go 26. So what I want to do is I want to have a look at what's actually happening on these days. Okay. Type in, shucks, is it Leviticus 16? It's in Leviticus anyway. So we've got Leviticus 18. We know what's going on there. Keep scrolling down. Oh, yeah. Stop. Scroll up, please. What's the title? What's the title?
There wasn't one. There isn't one.
Okay. So let's see what it says in here. Go back to verse 1, please. Okay. And the Lord spake unto Moses after the death of the two sons of Aaron, when they offered before the Lord and died. So what they did was that they would have presented something that wasn't in the law, and then they would have died. And this is what used to happen before Yeshua. He used to die for this stuff. And that's why he sent Yeshua. And that's why his mercy and his grace is just amazing, because he didn't want people to die anymore. So the Lord said unto Moses, speak unto Aaron thy brother, that he come not at all times into the holy place within the veil before the mercy seat, which is upon the ark, that he die not. So he was only allowed to go into the holy place, the sanctuary of Yahuwah, where the ark of the covenant and the mercy seat was. So the mercy seat was in between the cherubim that are on top of the lid of the ark of the covenant. And so once a year, Yahuwah used to dwell in there. He used to come in there. Well, actually, I don't know if he used to dwell in there only one day of the year. He probably dwelled in there every day of the year. But on one day of the year, Aaron was to come in here and offer a blood sacrifice. And he says, "For I will appear in the cloud upon the mercy seat." So, okay, that is telling us that that's when he appeared, on the Day of Atonement. So this is talking about the Day of Atonement. "Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place with a young bullock for a sin offering." So this is telling us what's happening on this day. And the reason why we're studying this right now is because you're going to see what these Luciferians, these modern day Nephilim kings, Raphaim kings, and we'll get to them after we do all this. Who are the Nephilim? Who are the Raphaim? Who are the Giburim? They are the modern day kings that Revelation talks about. And they know all this stuff. And this is when they do all this stuff. They do it on the Moedim, on Pesach, Rosh Hashanah. Pesach, especially Pesach in the Day of Atonement, and Rosh Hashanah. They do it at these three specifically. Why? It's because that's when the sacrifices are happening. And so what they're doing is they're sacrificing human beings, and in particular, children. Children, and it's blood. It's always blood sacrifice, and it's always after they rape them. And how do we know that? Because in Leviticus 18, it talks about unlawful sexual defilement, and it includes the offering of children to Molech in it. So obviously, if that's one of the laws, and that particular, actually, I'm not even going to go on about that because we'll get to that later. But let's go through this. "For I will appear in the cloud upon the mercy seat." So this is Yom Kippur. This is the Day of Atonement, the 10th day of Tishrei. "Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place with a young bullock for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering." Listen to that. A young bullock for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering. So we're talking about a sacrifice of an animal, a bull for a sin offering, so that's its blood, and then a ram for a burnt offering, so the ram gets burnt. Then he goes on to say, "He shall put on the holy linen coat, and he shall have the linen breeches upon his flesh, and shall be girded with a linen girdle, and with a linen mitre shall he be attired. These are holy garments, therefore shall he wash his flesh in water, and so put them on." So every time Aaron used to do this, he had to wash himself. Now, when we go through the consecration of the priests, you'll see that they had to do the same thing. And this is the first registered baptism of the Bible, and that's why baptism exists, because it's baptizing people into priesthood. And that's why people wonder why they come under all kinds of attack after they get baptized, because you're symbolizing to the demonic forces and the fallen angels your baptism as a priest. People are probably listening to this going, "You're crazy." Well, I'll show you after when we go to the consecration of the priests. So that's talking about baptism, because that's what happened to Yeshua when John the Baptist baptized him, because John the Baptist and Yeshua, knowing full well what the law is, they knew that John the Baptist, the prophet, just like Moses, who was the prophet of the time, had to baptize the priest, the high priest, before he could enter into the Holy of Holies. Because you'll notice that somewhere along here, it'll talk about the anointing oil. So put them on, verse 5. "And he shall take of the congregation of the children of Israel 2 kids of the goats for a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering." So if you're paying attention to all these clues, it's telling us why these Luciferians, why these modern day Nephilim kings, Raphaim kings, and Giburim kings, why they're sacrificing children. Because their blood is innocent. It's about blood sacrifice, and then why they're passing them through the fire, because it's in direct opposition to how Yahuwah prescribed the law to Moses. So it's a mocking, and even more so, they're sacrificing these children to their god, to Molech. And it goes on to say in verse 6, and Aaron shall offer his bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself. Okay? So he's offering that for himself. So the blood of that bullock covers him, so that he doesn't die when he's in there. Yeah. And make an atonement for himself and for his house. Scroll up, please, Dawn. Then it says in verse 7, and he shall take the 2 goats and present them before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So he's doing this at the door of the tabernacle, not inside. And Aaron shall cast lots upon the 2 goats, and one lot for the Lord, and the other lot for the scapegoat. People will probably be wondering why I'm laughing, because it's talking about Azazel. Who's Azazel? We'll get to that later. Oh, shucks, man. The Holy Spirit always does this to me. Okay. So Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement, 10th day of the 7th month, still in Tishri, half moon, around the half moon, should I say. And then, what is it? See Leviticus 16. Leviticus 16 for more detail. Okay, so now if we go to, so what verse was it?
Leviticus 16. Oh.
Just put, so now put in your, no, this is all good. So copy that and then put it into the study on the Day of Atonement. There, Day of Atonement. Or just highlight Yom Kippur and Day of Atonement. Because it'll give you, so what this is actually doing is it's giving you more detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, awesome. Okay. So this is the details. So let's go back to that. Leviticus 16. Actually bring up the Hebrew to Lanier, to English and to Lanier. And let's just show people this stuff. Leviticus. Right, back up. Yep. And what verse was that? Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now go across. There it is there. Azazel. So Azazel. So blah 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 for more detail, including Azazel. Azazel. You can put the you can put the
Link.
Yeah, link, and then we'll put and then we'll do a Strong's Concordance, so you can look for that. Scapegoat. Look for the scapegoat or Azazel. You should leave that open.
That one?
Oh, no, that's okay. Scapegoat. There it goes. Azazel. Who is Azazel? Click on it and then take that. So this is how we're actually showing you guys how we conduct how we put this information together. Because really, you can do the same thing for yourself. How did we find all this stuff out? I don't know. The Ruach just showed me. That's what Yeshua promises us, that the Ruach will teach us and show us everything. Okay. That's 15 minutes, eh?
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
We'll be back. Watch the next one.
We'll be back.